Number 10. Tone deaf Pepsi ad. Kendall Jenner caused another huge uproar back in 2017. She found herself in hot water when she starred in a Pepsi commercial that had a protest theme, but people on social media were not having it. They accused the commercial of making light of important issues and protests against racial injustice and police brutality just to sell soda. The backlash was so intense that they had to pull the ad, and both Kendall and Pepsi had to apologize for the whole mess. It was a lesson for everyone involved that you can't just use social activism as a marketing tool. Kendall later told Vogue in March of 2018 that her intention was not to hurt anyone. And while this might have been true, I'm shocked that the commercial got far enough without someone stopping to say, hey, this might not be the best idea. Talk about tone deaf. Number 9. Nepo baby. If you know anything about the modeling industry, you know that it isn't all glitz and glamour. Models often face tough living conditions, living in cramped apartments and working tirelessly for minimum pay and food. However, Kendall Jenner didn't experience that reality. Unlike other models who've climbed their way up from the bottom, Kendall is part of one of the most influential families of our time. Doors have been opened for her solely based on her name, with opportunities that many others will never have. And it seems like she really takes this for granted. On a reunion episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, the 27-year-old said that being associated with a reality TV show made her job and castings a little bit harder. She said, I definitely worked my way to where I am now. Kendall also tends to cancel shows and back out at the last minute. In fact, she skipped out on an important event like Milan Fashion Week and many more. This behavior can be frustrating for other models who've been in the industry for much longer and can't afford to do the same without jeopardizing their entire careers and livelihoods. Number 8. Who needs pants? Kendall Jenner certainly knows how to make a statement on the red carpet, and she did just that at the 2023 Met Gala. All eyes were on her, and it's no surprise considering that she showed up without any pants. Yeah, you read that right. Kendall rocked a dazzling sequin black bodysuit with dramatic floor-skimming sleeves, leaving her lower half completely bare. Talk about breaking fashion norms. And to top it all off, she accessorized with a sparkling crystal embellished collar and rocked sky-high platinum boots. While other people opted for elegant gowns, Kendall decided to go for an edgier pants-free look that turned heads and had everyone talking. But here's the thing, this isn't the first time she's been spotted out and about without bottoms. Last November, she was seen strutting around LA in an ensemble that some people deemed as indecent exposure. She wore black pantyhose placed underneath her underwear, with a knit crewneck sweater layered over a white t-shirt. This unconventional outfit sparked a debate on social media, with some people finding it completely inappropriate. Kendall clearly isn't afraid to push boundaries and make a statement with her unique style, but it's still a little cringe to see. Number 7. Secret birthday party. Did you hear about Kendall Jenner's illegal Halloween birthday party? It was quite the controversy. Despite the worldwide situation going on at the time and the rules that were put in place in 2020, Kendall still decided to throw a massive bash to celebrate turning 25. I mean, who needs social distancing and masks when you're a celebrity, right? The party took place at Harriet's rooftop in West Hollywood, and a whole bunch of A-listers like Justin and Hailey Bieber, Jaden Smith, Quavo, Winnie Harlow, Paris Hilton, The Weeknd, Sweetie, and even Doja Cat were there. Talk about a star-studded event. Apparently, everyone who attended, including the servers and employees, had to take a test on site. They weren't even allowed upstairs until the results came back negative. But here's the kicker, in all the photos that were leaked on social media, not a single person was wearing a face covering. And forget about social distancing, that was clearly out the window. Kendall even blew out her own birthday candles with her mouth, practically ensuring her spit was all over the cake. I mean, can't you just wave your hand or something? Oh, and let's not forget the no social media rule that they had. Well, that didn't go down too well because Kendall's sister Kylie couldn't resist posting pics on her Instagram story. And of course, Twitter had a field day with it, calling out the celebrities for their reckless behavior and hypocrisy. Number 6. T-shirt brand fail. This point actually includes Kendall's sister Kylie as well. Comment below if you'd like for us to do a list like this on her too. So Kylie and Kendall Jenner found themselves in a fashion fiasco when their t-shirt line sparked controversy. The sisters launched a collection featuring their faces superimposed over images of iconic musicians like Notorious Big and Tupac. However, fans and the public were quick to criticize the line, accusing them of appropriating and disrespecting the legacies of these legendary artists. The backlash grew rapidly, leading to the immediate removal of the t-shirt line from stores. It turned out that they seemingly used the images and names of musicians without permission or proper acknowledgement. Many felt that their actions trivialized the cultural significance and impact of these artists. Fans and critics took to social media to express their disappointment and anger, demanding an apology and calling for the removal of the t-shirts. In response, Kendall and Kylie issued an apology on Twitter, acknowledging their mistake and stating that they did not intend to disrespect anyone. Number 5, is that what I think it is? So get this, Kendall Jenner caused quite a stir when she shared a Snapchat photo of a tiny plastic plastic bag that looked suspiciously like it contained a certain illicit powder. And guess what her caption was? "This is the cutest little Ziploc baggie I have ever seen." Yeah, that was not the smartest move, and fans immediately called her out for it, pointing out that those kind of little baggies are typically used for carrying you know what, especially the white powdery stuff. They started assuming that she must be into some shady substances. And things didn't stop there. A video from her graduation party later surfaced on Snapchat, showing again what seemed to be that same powdery substance. Kendall's big sister Khloe came to her rescue and shut down those rumors. She took to Twitter to set the record straight. According to Khloe, there was no such shenanigans going on at that graduation party. It was all happening in broad daylight, with teenagers and a whole bunch of cameras around. She explained that the powdery stuff was just coming from scraping the rim of jello shots before taking them. Khloe made it clear that they're not as wild as people think, and she urged everyone to just say no. Lesson learned, Kendall. Maybe think twice before sharing questionable pictures on social media. As for the rest of us, let's remember to gather all the facts before jumping to conclusions. Overall, still a cringy moment. Number 4, rude to restaurant workers. You won't believe what happened with Kendall and a New York City bartender. So here is the deal. According to a bartender at Baby's Alright, Kendall supposedly refused to leave a tip after he had been serving her all night. The bartender took to Twitter and posted a photo of a receipt with her name and signature on it. And the twist? Well, the tip section was completely empty on a $24 bill. He didn't hold back with the caption either, reminding everyone to tip their bartender. Of course, Kendall wasn't going to let this slide. She responded to the accusations on Twitter, explaining that she had actually left a cash tip instead of filling out the tip section on the receipt. She fired back with a simple message: "Damn, I guess next time we won't tip in cash." Another time she was accused by a waitress, Julia Carlotta, who had once waited on her, of being cold and rude. She was rating celebrities she had served in the past, and this was what she had to say about Kendall. Quote, "This is another one where I unfortunately did not have the best experience with them. She used to come in all the time and was pretty cold towards staff. She also usually had someone speak for her and doesn't speak directly to staff." While Julia said that she did give her the benefit of the doubt since perhaps she was just shy, we're not entirely sure what happened there. Number 3, woe is me. Celebrities have their fair share of challenges, and it's understandable that they may express their frustrations or disappointments. However, Kendall takes it to a whole new level when she complains on social media about how horrible her incredibly privileged life has been. One incident that sparked a wave of criticism from fans and fellow celebrities was when Kendall tweeted, "Just wish things could be easier sometimes." Well, we've all experienced that feeling, but if we were in Kendall's shoes, we might think twice before sharing it with our millions of followers. Frances Bean Cobain, the daughter of the late Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love, didn't hold back in her response to Kendall's tweet. She called Kendall an effing idiot and accused her of being self-involved. In a Twitter rant, she pointed out the pressing issues of cancer, famine, poverty, drought, disease, natural disasters, and death, reminding Kendall that humans can be incredibly self-involved. Number 2, promoting bad habits. While Kendall Jenner's slender frame has made her successful in the modeling industry, she has faced criticism for promoting unhealthy eating habits. One instance that raised eyebrows was when she revealed that she painted her living room a particular shade of pink because she believed it would suppress her appetite. Yeah, you read that right. In February of 2017, Kendall shared the story behind her living room color choice on her website. She explained that her friends told her about a pink room at an exhibit that was scientifically proven to calm people and suppress their appetite. Intrigued by the idea, she decided to paint her own living room in that shade. She expressed her enthusiasm, saying, "I need this color in my house," and she went ahead and found someone to paint her room in that specific pink color. But this revelation didn't sit well with a lot of fans and professionals who were just concerned about the harmful implications of promoting such ideas, especially to Kendall's younger audience. The notion of associating color with appetite suppression sparked a wave of criticism and raised questions about the responsibility of influential figures when it comes to promoting healthy behaviors and body image. And coming in at number 1, cucumber cutting cringe. Let's finish off with some alliteration and probably the most embarrassing point on this list. Kendall Jenner caused a buzz on the internet when a video of her struggling to cut a cucumber went viral. It happened during an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, as Kendall attempted to make a snack without the family chef's help. In the episode, Kendall visited her mom Chris's house and decided to make her own snack. When Chris offered to have the chef prepare something, Kendall refused. Things got really awkward when she didn't know how to cut the cucumber and looked super confused. She was holding the cucumber with one hand, but then somehow cutting it on the opposite side. It almost hurt to watch. Kendall admitted that she wasn't good at cutting and she was a little scared with the knife. Eventually, Chris tried to call the chef for help, but Kendall declined and said she wanted to prove herself. Social media held a field day with that viral moment, joking about the Kardashian family's privilege and Kendall's lack of knife skills.
Number 10, too thin. Lately over social media, primarily TikTok, fans have been expressing their concerns for Ariana's health, pointing out her very skinny frame as well as suggesting she doesn't even look like herself. In a recent TikTok video, many viewers commented saying, "You look a lot like Ariana Grande," with many not even realizing that it is her. But others have come at the videos with a little bit more worry, fearing she's losing way too much weight. One fan commented, "Ariana, are you okay?" And another added, "Look how weird our Ari looks now, oh my god." But after noticing all these comments, Ariana addressed the accusations that she isn't healthy in a recently uploaded video. She starts off the video by saying that she doesn't do this often and doesn't like doing it at all, but going on to tell her audience, "I just want to address your concerns about my body." She goes on to say, "I want to talk a little bit about what it means to be a person with a body and to be seen and to pay such close attention to." Ariana explains that we should all be a little bit more gentler and avoid commenting on others' bodies, as well as working towards being safer, as well as telling her fans that there is many different kinds of beauty. Her viewers loved this graceful response to the comments and responded to her video by saying, "You don't owe anyone this, but thank you for everything you said." Another fan added, "We need more people to approach the world like Ariana. Thank you for this." Number 9. Asian fishing. 2 years ago, Ariana found herself in some hot water after being accused of Asian fishing. After photos of the star were posted by the photographer Katya Temkin on Instagram, they began circulating on Twitter, sparking some very mixed reviews. In the photo, Ariana poses in a green oversized blazer with white bows tied on her neck, which is an outfit she has worn on The Voice. Viewers pointed out that her eyes seemed to have a completely different shape than in previous photos, leading people to believe that she was Asian fishing, which is when a non-Asian person starts to attempt to look Asian with their features, makeup, and clothing. One fan wrote, "Ariana Grande really said, 'Okay, fine, I'm done pretending to be Hispanic. I'll pretend to be Asian this time.'" One Reddit user commented, Every celeb has had plastic surgery, but there's something about Ari's that doesn't sit right with me lately." They continued on by saying, "The overzealous eyebrow lift, in which she's actually changed the shape of her eyebrows from arched to straight, as is popular in East Asia." Someone that did come to her support was the influencer Ollie London, who is someone who identifies as a transracial Korean person after undergoing surgery to look like a K-pop star. They ended up praising Ariana's look, saying, "So cute, welcome to the transracial club. Can we become the king and queen of Korea?" Another Twitter user saw this as confirmation that Ariana was doing this on purpose and trying to become a different race. Number 8. Blackfishing. Ariana is no stranger to controversy, especially when it comes to her appearing to change races. But she really seemed to spark outrage after being accused of blackfishing after the release of her Seven Rings music video. Critics began coming for Ariana for her extremely dark spray tan, which many believe is a classic case of cultural appropriation. She has taken it so far to the point that some even began believing she was biracial. She has revealed in the past that her background is Italian, and if you see photos of her from before, many agree that she really does look like another race. After all the backlash she was receiving over her changing looks, it wasn't much of a surprise that she deactivated her account almost immediately after. It got even worse though during an MTV Awards in 2016 when Ariana and Nicki Minaj sang side to side, and viewers began to notice that Ariana was actually darker than Nicki. Definitely not going to help her case with that one. Number 7. Balding. Ariana has admitted that after years of acting and playing the character Cat Valentine, her hair was completely destroyed. She told the press at the time, "I had to bleach my hair and dye it red every other week for the first 4 years of playing Cat." Continuing on, she says, "I wear extensions, but I wear it in a ponytail because my actual hair is so broken that it looks absolutely ratchet and absurd when I let it down." When talking about other alternatives, she revealed, "I tried wigs, but they looked ridiculous. I tried a weave and I literally wanted to rip my scalp off." One of Ariana's stylists even claims that she's losing so much hair that her iconic ponytail is the only thing she can pull off now. An insider shared, "Her hair's a mess. What's left of it anyway. It's destroyed at the ends, and the reason she scrapes it back into a high ponytail all the time is because it's kind of patchy on the top." Of course, as people began really talking about her hair and how it's held up over years of damaging it, she tweeted about it saying, "It's difficult. I have to wear more fake hair than every drag queen on earth combined." Number 6. The filler. During some promotional photos for The Voice, fans began believing maybe Ariana's going overboard with fillers. Instagram users started noticing that the star was beginning to look much more puffy, especially on her cheeks and her lips. Though she has never admitted to getting any fillers in the past, fans are finding the star nearly unrecognizable lately and believe fillers are partly something to do with it. A Botox expert has come forward on TikTok to share where they they believe Ariana's fillers are located, if she does have any, explaining how it's clear the star has a little bit of filler in her lips and Botox in her forehead in order to keep up with her flawless skin. After looking at photos, what do you guys think? Number 5. Hispanic fishing. Ariana Grande found herself under fire after a comment she made in an award show when she said, "Thank you so much for coming to my quinceañera." After this comment went viral, one Twitter user wrote, "Ariana Grande joking about her quinceañera and people are loving it because she's darkened her skin so much that they actually think she is Latina, and it's disturbing." She continued by saying, "She's a white woman in brown face holding an award she got over actual Latina women, joking about quinceañeras." Another Twitter user wrote, "I can't stand her and I can't wait until she stops being everywhere. She walks around every day with blatant brown face and she just gets away with it. It's the most bizarre thing." Number 4. Too young. Ariana has received backlash in the past for appearing to dress a little bit younger than she actually is, while also aiming to look sexy, which many fans don't love. On top of getting some hate for her outfit, she has also been receiving quite a bit of negativity for her body shape in general. The star has a slimmer build, which has been subject of body shaming for years. She posted a series of photos on her Instagram showing off a dress, and the comments came in hot. One user claimed that she was built like a 12-year-old, where others believed she was taking this look too far, with another user writing, "Why did you post this?" More recently, she has been forced to limit comments on her Instagram due to the amount of negativity she has been receiving. Some fans have been coming to her defense, especially after noticing her limited comments. One fan wrote, "Ariana limited her Instagram because a lot of people were body shaming. I hate you all so much." Another fan wrote, "Ariana has never been more confident in her body than she is now. It's so sad to see that a lot of people are still body shaming her because she just has a natural petite body." Among this, there also came some speculation that the criticism of her body doesn't just affect her, but others who look similar. One Twitter user wrote, "At the end of the day, Ariana probably isn't paying much attention to all the body shaming she's been getting. A lot of people paying attention are those who already suffer with their own body image." Other fans shared their belief that the drastic change in her look over the years could be partially due to her continuing to grieve the passing of Mac Miller. But regardless of the reason, she has confirmed to fans that she really is all good, but maybe turning off the comments for now is a good idea. Number 3. Plastic surgery. Many fans who have been watching Ariana through the years believe that her appearance really changed in front of their eyes. She has been faced with plastic surgery rumors since she first rose to fame, and fans continue to ask which procedures she's had done. The speculation really began when she started to look much different from her days on Nickelodeon. Fans questioned why her eyes were looking less rounded and expressive than ever before, believing that this type of change doesn't just come from aging alone. Not only the change with her eyes, but others claimed that her nose was a result of a nose job that she got back in December 2019. In a since deleted tweet, the star clapped back at the fan and wrote, "This is my birth nose. What the F did I log into today? Let me have a cute nose." Fans got especially upset after seeing the star on the August 2019 Vogue cover, claiming that she looked nothing like her old self. One Twitter user wrote, "No, sorry, this is not okay. Ari does not look like this at all. All I see is plastic surgery, and I don't even recognize her." Though she didn't address this specifically head on, she did say in an interview, "I like having my funny character that I play, and it feels like an exaggerated version of myself. It protects me." She continued on by saying, "But I also love disrupting it for the sake of my fans and making it clear that I am a person, because that's something I enjoy fighting for." Though she has continued to deny these speculations, according to an Instagram page, My Beauty Consultant, it is believed that she has had a surgical brow lift, lip filler, cheek filler, chin filler, among other procedures. When looking at photos though, what do you guys think? Has she just grown up into her looks, or are these changes something only an operation could do? Number 2. Left side only. There have been stories that have been circulating about Ariana's diva demands, but have you heard about non-negotiable left side only for photos? The star reportedly will walk out of a photo shoot after refusing to be photographed in natural light, stressing that she will only be photographed from her left side only. An insider shared to the media, "It's like the president is in town. Everyone is kind of stressed, and at the same time they're making fun of her because there's not much ado about nothing." Another source went on to claim, "It was like you either get on the other side or we can't do the interview." Of course, having a good side is nothing new, but from the sounds of it, she may just be a little bit too intense over this. And at number 1, we have bleached brows. Another time Ariana left fans confused was when she bleached her eyebrows, leaving her unrecognizable to many. Ariana Ariana showed up for the Oscars event and ended up shocking some other attendees with her newly bleached eyebrows and her blonde hair. Though it appears she bleached them for her role in Wicked, some fans aren't loving it either way. One Twitter user wrote, "Don't get me wrong, I love Ariana with blonde hair and I get her bleaching her eyebrows for Wicked, but bleached brows aren't for everyone." Another user wrote, "Bleached eyebrows on Ariana look so bad, ew." One fan even suggested that this change could be a result of her looking so sickly. They wrote, "The current look of bleached eyebrows and blonde hair make her look washed out and unwell. Take her back to her dark brows and hair and she will already look a lot better."
At number 10 is her use of misleading filters. JLo decided to celebrate her 54th birthday with fans as she shared a claimed filter-free video to Instagram showcasing her multi-step skincare regime, with products from her eponymous line including her serum and sunscreen-infused moisturizer to help her achieve her signature glow. During the video, she mentioned how she felt better than ever, going on to claim that the video featured her bare face with no makeup. She went on to reiterate that she wasn't altering her face with filters or retouching of any kind, which came across less as empowering and more as a brag, as her skin was inconceivably flawless. The amount of time she pointed out this factor had people speculating on the validity of the claim, unsurprisingly, leading to a pretty divided comment section. Instagram users began discussing how she was definitely using a filter or at least some sort of specialty lighting, going on to mention how she looks much different in other pictures. Others pushed her to just show herself naturally, given that at 54 she still looks wonderful and that her skin wouldn't have the ability of looking like that without any help. There were others that defended JLo, no doubt, but the consensus in the comments really was that it was wrong of her to be misleading in this way, as it would only go on to make viewers feel self-conscious, not having something that is unobtainable. At number 9 is her scam of a beauty line. Back in the year of our Lord 2021, JLo launched a beauty brand claiming it was 20 years in the making. Prices ranged from $40 to $80, which wouldn't be too bad if that's what it really meant. Although the line received some good reviews, a number of people complained about the poor customer service, being charged for more than what they ordered. On the Better Business Bureau website, there are reports of over 57 customer complaints in just the last 12 months, many of which went on to mention that they had been signed up for a subscription service they had no prior knowledge of at the point of purchase. One person even went ahead and canceled the subscription they were forced into without complaint, but found that 4 months later they had been signed up for the service without their knowledge again, out of the blue, and charged $230 for a product they didn't order nor even receive, continuing by accusing JLo of being a scam artist. This is by far not the only reviewer that experienced something similar, each one of them also mentioning that when they called customer service, they were hung up on. At number 8 is her past of controlling Ben Affleck. After they tied the knot in 2022, it seems that Jen and Ben have had some trouble in paradise. Inside sources close to the couple revealed that Ben believes his life had become more difficult after getting married due to her controlling behavior and reportedly needs more space from her if their relationship is going to work. Since their viral appearance at the 2023 Grammys when Lopez seemingly snapped at Affleck over his bored facial expressions, which I mean, come on, it's a work party for him, the troubles in the relationship have become an extremely public affair. He was apparently really embarrassed to have the moment caught on video, as anyone would be. Sources went on to say that the couple attempts to play down the tension between them, however, they don't hide it very well, and their differences in personalities do not bode well for their rocky relationship. Affleck has publicly stated that he wants the relationship to work, and that divorce is absolutely not on the table. At number 7 is one she denied to have had Botox. On another Instagram live, right after JLo dropped her aforementioned skincare line, she began giving some high praise to a face mask, saying that after using it she couldn't see a single line on her face, claiming that she feels like she's taken 10 years off. This isn't how face masks work. Niacinamides and peptides can only do so much, and a sheet mask you leave on for 15 minutes will just make your face gooey. Anyway, she faced backlash for this in a big way, with people in the comments suggesting that JLo's taut skin might be due to something more than the tri-fermented complex. People went on to mention that she must think her fans are stupid for trying to claim she doesn't have Botox because her face is literally frozen in place and her forehead is behind her ears. To these comments though, JLo responded saying, "Try spending your time being more positive, kind, and uplifting to others. Don't spend your time trying to bring others down. That will keep you youthful and beautiful too." So, not admitting to it is fine, but I guess that means everyone with age-appropriate marks on their body just wasn't nice enough. Alright. At number 6, she's apparently rude to her drivers. So I guess when she said uplifting others, she didn't mean service workers. Got it. In 2022, it surfaced that JLo's drivers allegedly have to follow a pretty strict set of rules in order to keep their job. A TikToker named Kayla claimed that her father once worked for a company that Lopez often hired to provide drivers. Her father would refuse to drive JLo after hearing stories about her poor temperament and absurd rules, such as not allowing drivers to look at her or talk to her, and that even if the driver looks through the rear view mirror, this would be grounds to be violently scolded by the singer. She also has a policy where her luggage is not allowed to touch the ground. Then what are the wheels
heels for on a suitcase. At her halfway point, she is a horrible tipper. J-Lo has no problem spending frivolously on herself with a $1 million wedding that she was also accommodated with the costly penthouse stay. However, again, the TikTokers have come for J-Lo, accusing her and her husband Ben Affleck of being notorious for not tipping their waitstaff. There are two specific stories that are really incriminating though. In one now deleted TikTok, a woman who alleges that Ben Affleck has one of the worst reputations in the casino industry because he's cheap and consistently rude to other players. The woman went on to claim that Lopez is known for being stingy. Lopez even tells Ben not to tip. Another woman on TikTok named Penny added to the allegations of her being anti-tipping. She claimed that a woman she previously employed at a tavern she managed in Las Vegas once shared a story with her about an experience she had while working at a casino. She claimed she spent one night serving Affleck as he was at a poker table, not serving anybody else. Affleck gave her a generous tip of $10,000. However, once J-Lo caught wind of the tip, she allegedly snatched back the money. Apparently, Affleck was so humiliated by this, he sent a bouquet and a $25,000 tip to her the next day. And at number 4, we have that time where she refused to speak to a flight attendant. Allegations surfaced that while Lopez was on a flight, she apparently decided to completely ignore a flight attendant that was speaking directly to her. Now I know jet lag may get the best of you, and I'm no stranger to zoning out, but the situation was not the case. The United Airlines worker told Star magazine that Lopez simply doesn't speak directly to people outside her inner circle. After asking the singer if they could get her anything to drink, she refused to acknowledge them, instead turning to her assistant, telling the assistant to order her a Diet Coke. This apparently took them completely by surprise, quoting that she always seemed so sweet in movies and that it was jarring to see her true personality on display. At number 3, Jennifer Lopez allegedly makes her nannies work 16 hours a day. While her and Mark Anthony's twins are now well into their teenage years and no longer need nannies, when they did, the job was apparently grueling. Since both Mark and Jen would obviously be extremely busy with their crazy celebrity jobs, they needed a full-time nanny to raise, or I mean watch and take care of, the twins. According to Today magazine, J-Lo required her nannies to work upwards of 16 hours every day of the week. The worst part was that the now ex-couple only hired one nanny, which is peculiar because usually these situations with people who have loads of money would hire multiple streams of professional and social help, such as, at the very least, hiring a nanny for each child, especially for newborns. As well, it was as if Jennifer expected one nanny not only to take care of both twins, but to work 16-hour days, 7 days a week. Unsurprisingly, the first nanny she hired left after just a week of working for her, and the second nanny they hired was apparently wonderful with the twins, but couldn't take working illegal hours without a break, so also quit after a week. Our runner-up is that Lopez allegedly doesn't acknowledge her backup singers. Again, the TikTokers will not let J-Lo have a minute. A user on the app, Julia Wang, shared her story of meeting one of J-Lo's backup singers. Wang alleges that the woman was a part of a Vegas concert that J-Lo was performing at, and the backup singer said that if you were quote, pretty or Latina, it was game over and she hated you. Wang further claimed that J-Lo refused to talk or even look at any of them during the many hours of rehearsal time, except for an occasional eye roll or scoff. Overall, Jen acted like a bully with her employees, as though she was above all of them. Even though she's the star of the act, they've still been hired for the same act as her. How can your ego be that big? Apparently though, J-Lo's demeanor does a 180 when a man walks into the room, with many speculating that she only treats the women poorly because she views them as competition. At number 1 is her various feuds. J-Lo has had her fair share of scuffs with other ladies in the industry, most infamously in the early 2000s with Mariah Carey, when Mariah accused J-Lo of stealing her music, and then in another interview stating that she didn't know who J-Lo was. And the ladies are still not fond of each other, even now. In 2017, the Mariah drama proved to not be over after singer Brandy posted a picture of her and Mariah Carey on Instagram. As innocent as it seems, it was what the caption said that got caught in the rumor mill. Brandy captioned the photo #SheKnows Me, and it didn't take long for fans to assume that this was an obvious jab at J-Lo, being clear payback from Carey's iconic interview about J-Lo, and it seemed like Brandy was taking sides. Needless to say, she didn't side with J-Lo, and rumors of a feud have been speculated ever since. Jen also got into a scuffle with Nicki Minaj in 2012 when Nicki showed up on the American Idol stage while J-Lo was a judge on the show, and after performing, Nicki jokingly announced that she would like to join the judges table and told J-Lo to quote, scoot over. A few years later, J-Lo performed at the American Music Awards, and she included Nicki's hit song Anaconda in the mashup, and the camera immediately panned to Nicki, and her face soon became a joke online for how obviously unimpressed she looked. Coming in at number 10 is the lawsuit filed by Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noel Rodriguez. The dancers made several allegations including religious and racial harassment, disability discrimination, assault, and false imprisonment. They allege that the singer once pressured Davis to inappropriately touch a nude performer while in Amsterdam, saying, quote, Lizzo began inviting cast members to take turns touching the nude performers and eating bananas protruding from the performers. The complaint goes on to accuse Lizzo of pressuring Ariana Davis to touch the breasts of the nude women performing at the club, and began leading a chant goading her to do so, despite despite her expressing discomfort. The plaintiffs say they were shocked about how little regard Lizzo showed for the bodily autonomy of her employees and those around her. The suit goes on to say that Lizzo pressed Davis for an explanation as to why she seemed less bubbly and vivacious than she did prior to the tour starting. Davis argues that the questions were, quote, thinly veiled concerns about her weight gain, which Lizzo had previously called attention to after noticing it at the South by Southwest festival. The women also accused the dance captain Shirlene Quigley of religious harassment. Quigley allegedly monitored Davis's virginity and, quote, singled out Rodriguez as a non-believer. The last part of the complaint regards the assault claim that Rodriguez made against Lizzo, claiming that she approached the dancer and began, quote, aggressively yelling profanities, cracking her knuckles, and balling her fists, apparently preparing herself to attack, which led to Lizzo allegedly having to be restrained. Additionally, Davis alleged that this assault happened after she was, quote, confined to a room against her will and told she's not allowed to leave unless she submitted to a search of the contents of her phone. Davis claimed she was fired for recording a meeting without Lizzo's knowledge, but says she believes her termination was due to her aforementioned weight gain. Williams was also terminated for alleged budget cuts just weeks after being wrongfully accused of drinking on the job, while Rodriguez resigned. At number 9 is Lizzo's creative director speaking out. After the lawsuit of the former dancers went public, more of Lizzo's former employees are speaking out in support of them. In fact, just hours after the women came forward with allegations, Lizzo's former creative director, Quinn Whitney Wilson, and dancer Courtney Hollenquest claimed they experienced similar treatment. In an Instagram story posted on Tuesday, Hollenquest wrote, "For clarification, I'm not part of the lawsuit, but this was very much my experience in my time there. Big shout out to the dancers who had the courage to bring this to light." Soon after, Wilson shared a screenshot of Hollenquest's statement to her own Instagram story where she said, quote, echoing everything that was already said. Wilson went on to say, "I haven't been a part of that world for around 3 years for a reason. I very much applaud the dancers' courage to bring this to light, and I grieve for parts of my own experience. I'd appreciate space to understand my feelings," she concluded with. To which Hollenquest replied back to the creative director saying, "My sister forever, only a few know what we've been through. Love you, Quinn." At number 8 is Lizzo's ableist lyric controversy. In 2022, Lizzo released the song entitled Girls on her 4th studio album Special. The song received a ton of backlash from fans about a lyric that contained a word many deemed to be ableist. The offensive word in question came from the song's lines, "Do you see, I'm a spaz." The term spaz has often been used as slang or a slur to describe losing, quote, physical or emotional control, but has fallen increasingly out of fashion because of the word's origin from spastic, defined as a form of muscular weakness, otherwise known as spastic paralysis, which is a typical symptom of cerebral palsy. In an article by blog OK Player, author Clementine Williams put into perspective why this word was used, saying, quote, "During the 90s era of hip-hop, spaz was not used to make fun of the disabled community, but as a descriptor for going wild, usually for when one is partying and losing themselves to the atmosphere. However, it's become pretty well known in society that this term is no longer acceptable to use, and for someone as popular as Lizzo, this seems like a big oversight from her and her team." Lizzo went on to release a new version of the song Girls and sent out a statement on Twitter bringing attention to why she was changing this lyric. The tweet read, "Let me make one thing clear, I never want to promote derogatory language. As a black fat woman in America, I've had many hurtful words used against me, so I understand the power words can have, whether intentionally or in my case unintentionally. This is the result of me listening and taking action. As an influential artist, I'm dedicated to being part of the change I've been wanting to see in the world. This was the correct reaction to such claims. She really couldn't have handled the situation any better, but her current allegations don't have as easy a fix as changing a word in a lyric, so it'll be interesting to see how she handles the claims of her hostile work environment." At number 7 is the plagiarism claims she received. Back in October of 2019, songwriting brothers Justin and Jeremiah Raisin claimed they attended a writing session with Lizzo, Jesse St. John, and Yves Rothman in 2017. The group proceeded to write a song entitled Healthy, which included the now infamous TikTok trend line, "I just took a DNA test, turns out I'm 100% that expletive." Lizzo went on to feature this line in her hit single Truth Hurts, which prompted the Raisin brothers to accuse Lizzo of plagiarizing it without giving them the good grace of crediting them in the song in an Instagram story. The story read, quote, "We were never contacted about being credited for the use of parts of Healthy, such as the melody, lyrics, and chords that appear in Truth Hurts. The only people credited for the song are Lizzo, producer Ricky Reed, producer Tele, and Jesse St. John, everyone except the Raisins." The brothers continued to post by saying, after reaching out to Ricky Reed and Lizzo's team about fixing it, "We put the song in dispute in 2017 when it came out. We've tried to sort this out quietly for the last 2 years, only asking for 5% each, but we're shut down every time. Coming forward publicly to family, friends, artists, and colleagues seems to be the only way at this point in relieving some of our emotional distress caused by this." Lizzo ended up denying these claims, but did give credit to Mina Lioness for sharing a meme that included the now famous line. In August 2018, Lioness tweeted, "If she thought I had autonomy to truly challenge her and assert my rights, she would have given me writer's credit already. We didn't have the same idea, it was my tweet that was taken from Twitter and put into a song. Now everybody believes those words are hers, when in fact they're mine. My creativity, my wit, and my comedy." Lioness is now credited as a co-writer on the track. At number 6 is when Lizzo accused a Postmates driver of stealing her food. In September of 2019, Lizzo accused a Postmates driver of stealing her food in a tweet that read, "Hey Postmates, this girl Tiffany W stole my food. She's lucky I don't fight anymore," along with a photo of the alleged delivery person. She then deleted the tweet. A company spokesperson later told the singer that the driver waited 5 minutes for Lizzo, but she had to move on when she did not appear to pick up her food. Lizzo then issued an apology to the driver with another tweet that read, "I apologizing for putting that girl on blast. I understand I have a large following and there were so many variables that could have put her in danger. I'm gonna need to be more responsible with my use of social media and check my petty and my pride at the door." Lizzo wrote on Twitter, "Couriers earn very little money delivering food for Postmates, so when underpaid workers are doing unpredictable, time-consuming, labor-intensive work, it's never a great look to publicly shame them the second your food doesn't arrive on time." At number 5, she lashed out at an album review. In April, after her album "Cause I Love You" began to pick up a slew of positive reviews, Pitchfork published a lukewarm review of the record. The reviewer gave the record a 6.5 out of 10 and called Lizzo, quote, "clearly a talent," but that was not positive enough for Lizzo, who later tweeted, "People who review albums and don't make music themselves should be unemployed." Lizzo later deleted the tweet, but doesn't she have enough money to brush off a 6.5 out of 10? That's not even that bad. At number 4 is when Lizzo openly said some pretty inappropriate comments about BTS. In a CBS interview where Lizzo listens to the K-pop band's music for the first time, she says she would collaborate with the boys, but her comments took an unnecessarily risque turn when she mentioned she wouldn't be able to focus on making music because she wouldn't be able to keep her hands off them. She said this in an obviously more graphic way, and although it sounds like she was saying it as a joke of some sort, people did not find it funny at all. Many fans of BTS rightfully criticized Lizzo for being extremely disrespectful, and this isn't the first time Lizzo made inappropriate comments about other artists. During an interview on Kiss Breakfast with Tom and Daisy, Lizzo made similar remarks about Harry Styles, where she joked that she and Styles had slept together. As well, at a concert in Miami, she invited the former One Direction star to come up on stage with her, and as they sang together, Lizzo seemingly tried to grab Styles' butt. He smiled along and even grabbed back at her, but fans still accused Lizzo of sexualizing the singer without his consent. Especially after the recent allegations coming out about her, this situation has an entirely new air of disgust on it. Our number 3 spot concerns the director who dropped out of her documentary. Oscar-nominated filmmaker Sophia Nolly-Allison says she dropped out as a director of Lizzo's documentary in 2019 after facing mistreatment from her. In an Instagram story posted earlier this week, Allison states that, quote, "In 2019 I traveled a bit with Lizzo to be the director of her documentary. I walked away after about 2 weeks. I was treated with such disrespect from her. I witnessed how arrogant, self-centered, and unkind she is. I was gaslit and deeply hurt, but I've healed since. Reading such reports makes me realize how dangerous the situation is. This kind of abuse of power happens way too often." Our runner-up concerns the negative comments she made about Taylor Swift. In an Instagram Live, Lizzo spoke to her 13.5 million followers, praising Beyonce's concert in Warsaw, calling her one of the best out there. When she proceeded to say, "The most popular person of today isn't even comparable to what Beyonce is doing," and many of Taylor's fans believe it was aimed at her due to the singer recently making record-breaking sales for her Eras tour and currently dominating the charts. Lizzo never mentioned Swift by name, but that didn't stop fans from supporting Swift on TikTok, sharing the clip of Lizzo's live saying there's no reason for Lizzo to shade her or even attempt to compare the two. One person commented, "Beyonce and Taylor's shows are both phenomenal. They're some of the best performers of our time, and comparing them is so icky." Our number 1 spot goes to when a man trampled a woman at one of Lizzo's shows and she still invited him on stage to sing with her. During a concert in 2017, Twitter user Ola's Truth experienced a man trample over her while she was in a wheelchair, Lizzo's dancers having to force him off of her. The man was wearing platform heels and stepped on not only her wheelchair but also her legs, causing injury. Even after this horrific situation, Lizzo still proceeded to invite the specific man on stage to sing with her. On Twitter, Ola wrote, "No one should be surprised Lizzo did this in regards to the recent lawsuit." Lizzo also DM'd the woman a half-hearted apology where she claimed to not have seen the man, as well as promising meet and greet tickets at her next show in DC, which never came to fruition. Coming in at number 10 is when Doja Cat just flat out said she doesn't love her fans. On July 23rd, celebrity blog Pop Base posted a conversation between Doja Cat and her fans who were asking if she could just say she loves them. Twitter user Doja Cat Iran wrote, "I want to hear you say I do love you guys, as a usual thing you say to your fans." To which the singer responded, "I don't though, because I don't even know y'all," which is an incredibly fair thing to say, but my opinion is apparently not widely held in Doja's fan base, as another fan replied to Doja, user Daily Taylor T13 wrote, "And we don't know you, but we've supported you through thick and thin. Mind you, you'd be nothing without us. You'd be working at a grocery store making songs on GarageBand, Miss High School Dropout," which is a bit harsh, and Doja agreed with her replying, "Nobody forced you to, so I don't know why you're talking to me like you're my mother. You sound like a crazy person." Another Twitter user tweeted this interaction saying, "Never in a million years would I have imagined witnessing the Azealia Banksification of Doja Cat." Coming in at number 9 is coming for fans for saying her name. Now, the singer doesn't have a problem with people saying her stage name, but she doesn't seem to like for her fans to use the one on her birth certificate. Over the weekend, the singer took to Twitter to explain explain one of her boundaries and clearly spelled out the fact that she does not like it when her fans called her by her government name. She had an issue especially with the fact that some fans took it upon themselves to make her name their screen name or username on Twitter or Instagram. Doja tweeted about the issue saying, "You making my government name your screen name is creepy." She tweeted directly to one of her followers. She followed up this tweet with another message to fans calling for the deletion of any social media accounts they may have that continue to use her full name. I mean, this makes sense for countless reasons. A name is a personal thing, especially since she doesn't actively use it in a particularly public way. It's a bit disrespectful to expect her to be okay with it being used, especially in the way of username, which is breaching terms of identity theft. At number 8 is her decision to bash the fandom name. A few weeks ago, Doja's fan base decided to affectionately begin calling themselves her kittens. Doja Cat, although having the word cat in her stage name, did not care for this decision one bit. One Twitter user named Jim and Face Coo even wrote, "Doja being mean to her fans for the word kitten like her name isn't Doja Cat, and she wasn't dressed like a cat," and meowed her way through an entire interview a few months ago. The singer took to Twitter writing, "My fans don't name themselves anything. If you call yourself a kitten or kittens, that means you need to get off your phone and get a job and help your parents with the house." She has since deleted this tweet, but they were captured and reposted by a number of entertainment accounts and websites, including Page 6. I mean, I guess it's her prerogative to not want specific names attached to a brand. I've just never seen any other celebrity get so heated over something so insignificant as a fandom name. Coming in at number 7 are her racist remarks. On May 22nd, 2020, videos alleging that Doja Cat participated in public chat rooms began to circulate on social media, particularly Twitter. People online claimed that Doja Cat was talking to racists and laughing at their racist jokes on video chatting platform TinyChat. One tweet that came out the same day claimed to show footage of Doja Cat in a chat room with alt-right white supremacist and incel communities. Doja took to Instagram to address the accusations, calling them 100% incorrect, and attempted to put the videos into context, saying that she used public chat rooms to socialize since she was a kid. She also said, quote, "I shouldn't have been on those chat room sites, but I personally have never been involved in any racist conversations. I'm sorry to everyone I offended." This entire controversy was triggered by the emergence of an old song that resurfaced, which was entitled with a term used to disparage black victims of police brutality. Some claimed that the lyrics in the song referred to Sandra Bland, a black woman who lost her life in 2015 while in Texas police custody, although Doja Cat never mentioned her by name in the song. Doja Cat took responsibility for writing and recording the controversial song, but said it was in no way tied to anything outside of her own personal experiences. She added, "It was written in response to people who often use that term to hurt her." She said, "I made an attempt to flip its meaning, but recognize it was a bad decision to use the term in my music." At number 6 is her history of homophobic remarks. In 2018, Doja Cat was faced with her first controversy when someone dug up tweets from a few years ago where she used the F slur to describe Tyler the Creator, an openly bisexual artist, and Earl Sweatshirt. Her immediate response was to justify the word by admitting that she's used the word thousands of times in high school, around the time she tweeted it, which really just adds insult to injury and didn't really go over well. She deleted that tweet and then all of her other tweets and offered an apology to the LGBTQ+ community, and as a result of the controversy, Doja Cat was declared the milkshake duck, being described as someone who gained sudden fame for something nice and positive, only to soon be revealed as deeply flawed, with terrible opinions by NME. At least she apologized, but knowing her history with believing that word was ever okay doesn't bode well with making fans believe she's a safe person to continue supporting. Coming in at our midway point is her cancelled Paraguay concert. In March of 2022, Doja Cat was set to perform at a festival in Paraguay, but which was eventually cancelled due to severe weather conditions, including flooding and thunderstorms. After news spread that it was cancelled, fans reportedly gathered outside the hotel she was residing at in order to catch a glimpse of the artist. She did not come outside to meet these fans and consequently was accused of being rude and apathetic, as well as being accused of being more enthusiastic about other countries' fans such as Brazil. Alongside this behavior, Doja also neglected to post any social media photos about Paraguay, leaving fans feeling, quote, empty. Because of the sheer amount of backlash Doja Cat received for having no control over a cancelled show and perhaps wanting some time to herself, she released a series of tweets where she claimed that she was not sorry and would quit the music industry. She then changed her Twitter username to I Quit. These were empty threads, obviously, as she returned 2 days later. At number 4 is an instance of Doja calling her fans dumb. It started with a tweet that read, "My stage name is no longer Doja Cat, it's MC Flapchunks III and you'll address me as such." The next day she added, "I just got jumped by MC Flapchunks the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I'm changing my name back to Doja Cat." A Twitter user shared the singer's tweet and wrote, "Every day she constantly reminds us that she isn't funny." To which Doja responded with, "I'm one of the funniest people on this planet and it's sad to know you'll never recognize that." She added in another tweet, "I'm extremely funny and I will remind you all every day that I am if I have to." A few minutes later, Doja started a Twitter poll which read, "Y'all mad cuz," with possible answers full of unserious expletives. One user replied to the poll saying, "Everyone is mad because you're calling your fans dumb." And Doja answered with, "Are they not?" Given Doja's previously understood sarcastic nature, it's super possible that she wasn't upset about anything and neither are some of the fans participating in the dialogue, and that this whole situation is just some people not getting the joke. At number 3 is Doja's tendency to block fans. Recently, several followers of the singer took to Twitter to reveal that she was blocking many fans fans on social media. This comes after they questioned her for her alleged relationship with Jay Cyrus. Twitter user HarryXHalley was one among the many who were blocked after she questioned the singer for dating a man who has hurt so many of her friends and herself. Soph on Twitter wrote, "Sorry Doja Cat for letting you know that your man had abused and taken advantage of so many women." The distraught Twitter user wrote alongside a screenshot showing that they're now unable to see the rapper's profile. The user continued by saying, "Let's not say how he was in mine and other minors' DMs at the time, but thank you for listening. It's not like I was also a huge fan of yours." Fans have begun to believe that her decision to hastily block fans is proof that Doja does not care about her fans at all. However, the singer may simply be protecting her peace, and we don't know what's happening behind the scenes. Our runner-up is Doja not listening to fans' concerns about her lifestyle. On the streaming site Twitch, Jay Cyrus was accused of harassing multiple women between 2020 and 2022. He allegedly mistreated women who watched him broadcast, according to a tweet by Twitter user named Emma, who wrote, "He used his power and influence to mistreat women who watched his stream. The last count of women who came forward was close to 20. He destroyed a community of hundreds of people who trusted and admired him." Instead of Doja addressing these concerns, she's decided to stay completely silent on the problem and instead released a statement on Twitter that read, "I want y'all to read this comment and take it as a message. I don't care what you think about my personal life. I never have and never will care what you think about me or my personal life. Goodbye and good riddance," which caused Twitter user The Return of BWA to write, "Thing is, whether we like it or not, the whole Doja Cat boyfriend thing would have probably blown over if she didn't go on the internet to keep whining about people's thoughts on it." Our number one spot goes to Doja's relationship with Jay Cyrus. Speaking to the aforementioned point, the true problem that's causing these symptoms is Doja's new boyfriend, Jay Cyrus, no relation to Miley Cyrus. Early this summer, the singer was spotted on a yacht with a lesser-known creative that's been garnering some harrowing allegations coming out against him. Social media users have taken the opportunity to share their own stories of experiences with Jay, calling him a master manipulator, groomer, and abuser who has never taken accountability for his actions. There are thousands of other users giving Doja a piece of their mind, causing Doja to trend, one confused user saying, "There ain't no music good enough for an artist to act the way Doja Cat acts. It is disappointing to see a celebrity commend behavior like this by entering a relationship with them, but it's always easy to judge from the outside."
Number 10, locked out of her car. Last year, Amber was spotted by Raven-Symoné and her wife at a gas station while she was charging her Tesla. She was seen screaming and crying on the phone. Raven then gets dared to take a picture with Amber, but that led to her getting locked out of her own Tesla. Apparently, when the actress went back to her car after the photo, it was locked with her phone inside, her purse inside, and her jacket. But did Raven-Symoné stick around to help her out? Well, surprisingly, no. She just laughed about it. The former View host then turned on the camera and said, "Amber, I'm so sorry you got locked out of your car, but my picture is amazing." She pointed to a selfie of the two of them at the top of the screen. The funniest part about this was that Amber apparently had no idea who Raven was when she asked to take a photo with her. So far, that video has around 5 million views on YouTube, and the comments are hilarious. One person wrote, "Not someone with a 5-minute career not knowing an OG with decades-long career. This was also hilarious." And getting the selfie was just a savage receipt. Number 9, the insurance company lawsuit. It was believed that the ordeal between Amber and Johnny ended with their infamous lawsuit. Now, however, it looks like she is once again facing legal issues following the outcome of the trial. Their two legal teams eventually settled the amount which Amber owed, and it turned out to be as much as $15 million. It wasn't long after that she eventually moved to Spain with her daughter to get back on her feet, but now she's once again dealing with legal issues. Her insurance company, New York Marine and General Insurance Co., refuses to drop their case against her. They've already worked out a deal with Depp's team, so she really wants the insurance company to drop their case. Their lawsuit started after she demanded that they pay a portion of her fees owed to by Johnny, and although they acknowledged that she had a $1 million liability policy, one that does cover defamation, there's a provision that they're using against her. Specifically, they claim that they're not liable if she is found to have willfully committed the wrongful conduct. But even now that the amount that she owes him is settled, the company is still refusing to drop the case. Amber pleaded with the judge and said that there is nothing left to dispute, but the insurance company still refuses to stipulate to dismissal of their claims. Number 8, wanted in Australia. You may remember Amber and Johnny were caught illegally smuggling her Yorkshire Terriers into Australia during that trip in 2015. They defied Australia's Quarantine Act, which requires dogs entering the country from the US to be declared and spend 10 days in quarantine. Amber allegedly said no on her immigration form when asked if she needed to declare any animals, which resulted in her getting in trouble with the Australian government for breaching biosecurity laws. The couple were told in May of 2015 that they could get the dogs out of the country, or Aussie officials would put down the pups, named Boo and Pistol. When asked why Depp wasn't charged as well, the prosecutor's office said that there had been a lack of admissible evidence against anyone except Amber. In a statement, the Australian Department of Agriculture, Water and the Environment said that they are, quote, investigating allegations of perjury by Ms. Heard during court proceedings for the 2015 illegal importation of her 2 dogs into Australia. They added that investigations are ongoing over allegations that she lied under oath. This was an incredibly serious matter given that perjury carries a maximum jail term of 14 years, while illegal importation can result in a 7-year stretch under the Queensland Penal Code. Number 7. The settlement. Almost a year after the trial ended, Johnny has finally received a settlement of $1 million from Amber's insurance company. He's also chosen the charities that he plans to donate that to. A source close to the actor recently confirmed that he has chosen 5 charities to donate the settlement funds, which include the Make a Film Foundation, the Painted Turtle, Red Feather, Marlon Brando's Tetiaroa Society charity, and the Amazonia Fund Alliance. He plans to donate $200,000 to each of these 5 charities. The Virginia jury originally awarded him $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages, while Amber was awarded $2 million in compensatory damages. The former couple later came to a settlement in December when she agreed to pay him $1 million. At the time, she released a statement saying, "I have made no omission. This is not an act of concession. It's important for me to say that I never chose this. I defended my truth, and in doing so, my life as I knew it was destroyed." While Johnny's lawyer said in a statement that he pledged to donate the settlement money to charity, and it looks like he is making good on his promise. Number 6. Cut out of Aquaman. Several months ago, audience members at CinemaCon were able to view the first trailer for Aquaman in an exclusive screening. Some of them were pretty shocked to see that Amber's character Mira made a brief cameo in the movie, apparently during a battle scene. It's not really a big role, but she is definitely there. During the defamation trial, she testified that her part in the film was significantly cut down after Johnny's legal team called her claims a hoax. She said, "I fought really hard to stay in the movie. They didn't want to include me in the film." Later on, the head of DC Films, Walter Hamada, was called to the stand to talk about diminished screen time. He claimed that the size of her role was determined in the early development of the script, and it was mostly cut down due to lack of chemistry between her and Jason Momoa. This might turn out to be a good decision given the fact that they spent $200 million making this movie, so there is always a lot riding on these kind of superhero films. But as the film was going through post-production this year, it actually wasn't performing very well at test screenings. An insider named Viewer Anon described the consensus of Aquaman 2 as boring, not as good as the first, and potentially one of the worst DCEU movies ever made, even after it went through half a dozen test screenings. So judging by those really harsh reviews, all we can do is wait and see what DC has in store. Number 5. Called out in court. During the defamation trial, Amber was evaluated by clinical psychologist Dr. Shannon Curry, who said that she had grossly exaggerated her symptoms of PTSD. Amber was evaluated over a period of 12 hours in the span of 2 days. The doctor then testified that not only did she not have PTSD, but that she had something else entirely. The result of the test supported 2 diagnoses: borderline personality disorder and histrionic personality disorder. The doctor concluded that Amber had a very sophisticated way of minimizing any personal problems, while having a lot of inner hostility and externalizing blame. She added that there was a desperate fear of abandonment among those with borderline personality disorder, and that the reaction to that is to try to keep a significant other close, and this behavior can become extreme. Quote, "When someone is afraid of being abandoned by their partner or by anyone else in their environment, and they have this disorder, they'll make desperate attacks to prevent that from happening, and those desperate attempts could be physical aggression, it could be threatening, it could be harming themselves, but these are behaviors that are very extreme and very concerning to the people around them." The doctor said that in this case, Amber was prone to reacting in a heightened manner that is exhausting for her partners. Number 4. Exposed for the fake pledge. When the ACLU said to Amber that she only donated $1.3 million of the $3.5 million that she pledged to the organization from her divorce settlement, Terrence Doherty, the general counsel and chief operating officer, said in a recorded deposition that the organization received 4 donations from her, which totaled $1.3 million. However, when Johnny and Amber reached a divorce settlement in 2016, she announced that she would donate the entirety of her $7 million divorce settlement to charity, saying that the money would be split between the 2 organizations, the American Civil Liberties Union and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, which meant that the ACLU should have received $3.5 million. But it turns out that only one of those payments was from Amber directly, a payment of $350,000 back in August. The other payments were from Johnny and a fund set up by Elon Musk. Later on in the trial, when Amber took to the stand, she said that she still planned to donate all the money that she promised, claiming that it was the trial that was stalling her payments. Number 3. Caught in a lie. During a testimony from Morgan Tremaine, the former TMZ journalist, he established that the celebrity news publication had been able to publish exclusive photos and videos of Amber during the early stages of her contentious divorce from Johnny, based on tips that they received about her whereabouts. This contradicted the recorded testimony from Amber, saying that she was caught off guard by the presence of the photographers, and that she had no idea how TMZ got a hold of the story. Tremaine testified that he dispatched paparazzi to stay outside of the LA courthouse based on an anonymous tip to capture photos of her in 2016, when she filed for a temporary restraining order against Johnny. During the cross-examination, Elaine Brenhoft said to Tremaine, quote, "This gets you your 15 minutes of fame, doesn't it?" In response, he said, "I could say the same thing about you taking Amber Heard as a client. That wasn't just a sick burn." The way that he clapped back at Elaine was truly an amazing courtroom moment. Number 2, the poop testimony. Johnny Depp told the court that as his relationship with Amber unraveled, he wanted to collect his belongings from the LA penthouse. He said that he let their security guards know he planned to go inside the building, but he received a message from them saying that it wasn't a good time. Johnny said that he wanted to know why, and when he was told that he should wait because there was a quote, human fecal matter on his side of the bed. The actor then added that he was sent a picture of the feces as proof, saying that it was so bizarre and so grotesque that he could only laugh. Well, I'm sure that that was the court's reaction too. He said that when confronted, Amber tried to blame it on their Yorkies, but from the way that he described the whole incident, it was clear that she had actually defecated on the bed. His bodyguard, Starling Jenkins, told the court that he spoke to Amber about the surprise that she left in his boss's bed prior to leaving the apartment, and at the time she called it a horrible practical joke gone wrong. And coming in at number 1, my dog stepped on a bee. Amber narrated the events surrounding a 2013 trip that she and Johnny took with their friends. She ended the story by claiming that her dog stepped on a bee the very next day, which led them to taking the dog to the vet. A lot of people were confused about the relevance of her statement, seeing that it had very little to do with the important event that she was describing. But after saying the line, she paused as if to wince in pain. That moment went mega viral. The entire internet seemed to joke about the moment, and many hopped on TikTok to imitate her expression. They became obsessed with the clip and stitching together videos of their own random rhymes and winces. In the end, hundreds of videos were made, gathering hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views. Even celebrities like Doja Cat got in on the trend. She was mimicking Amber's testimony and went on TikTok explaining how her puppy also got stung by a bee, while squinting her eyes and jerking her head. After that video resurfaced, backlash exploded on Twitter, and fans were not happy that the singer was using her platform to pile on Amber, but for some reason, so many people were doing the same thing at the time. It was probably one of the most iconic testimonies of the trial.